give her the fruit.
Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream. Smash the shit, it's summer. Iris when she float up, flying through the night. Make you feel alright. Cast spells at volcanoes. Use lava, liquid Drano. 2 puffs of purple hazing. That's what the witch is blazing. Liquid smoke. Kickstart the broomstick. Up in the sky with balloons. My doobies ain't toothpicks. Tommy Chongin. Pupess, you want it. You only need a little bit of dragon venom drips. Dr. Fever. Deck of scripts. Darkness through dreams. Pennywise, lovely ladies know I'm it. That stuff they own, it gets right on top of them. Hope you're not busy for a few days. Adrenochrome and processed foods. Olay, Athena, bring the bang. Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon. This is a Wednesday night initiating apocalypse. I want to thank you for coming out. I have some material tonight, all new stuff. I want to send a shout out to Gandhi, who was able to procure these Greek texts. Thank you. Thank you for getting those, Gandhi. Everybody say Gandhi, Gandhi, right? Awesome. This is the text that I'm going to bring you tonight. And it is going to open some floodgates. Oh, God. We're going right back into the heart of the mystery. We're going right back into the heart of the mystery tonight. But before we do, while the time spaceship is warming up, and I've got to tell you, first of all, tonight's mission is a tough one. Oh, God, I can hear it. I can hear them all over the place. People, this is going to be rough. Yeah, put on your restraints. Right, put on your restraints. This one's going to be rough. Tonight, it's going to be rough. We're going to show you some things tonight. Chewy and I are going to show you some things. Okay, before we do, I have a couple of things to set straight. Tonight, we have a commendation to Satan, right? When you commend somebody or a group of people to Satan, you are performing an ancient act that is part of the power that belongs to those who are initiated. Okay? What we're doing is we're commending to the devil she and her followers who would slander those who have been abused. Somebody said, now, when people are from the congregation are writing to me and saying, oh, what is this? Don't pay attention. Because if you give them the attention, you give them the legitimacy. But people have come out and have said, my God, this man, he was abused by the clergy. Such a statement is an out and out lie. It's a falsehood. I would never claim something like that ever. Why? Because I have stood with a victim of abuse with tears in his eyes, and it was years ago. It was when he was a little kid. And he came up to me at a talk I was giving where I was talking about historical church abuse, right? Child abuse in the church. And he came up to me and he said, you brought it out. You showed it. It's exactly what happened to me. Exactly. He said, I saw in the eyes of that guy who did that to me, I saw in his eyes exactly what you're talking about. Shame on you, on anyone who would take that pain of those real victims and try to say, this man can't be right about the naked kid that was with Jesus when he was arrested in a public park at 4 a.m. He can't be right. He is a victim himself. I have never claimed to be, nor ever would I. Nor ever would I. Yeah, I am not a victim of any such thing. Yes, I am not. Now, maybe 10 priests bust through the door and then something happens. But until then, I would never take away the honor of justice for those who are real victims. Great shame. I commend you to Satan. The other thing I wanted to set right. What was the other? Chewy, what was it? Oh, yeah, tell Megiddo. So somebody came out. It was Flint Dribble, I think is his name. And he came out and he said, yeah, no, I checked this guy out. And I talked to one of the head of the digs at Megiddo. He doesn't remember him. No, you wouldn't, because I was the guy among the 60 from the University of Arizona staying at Kibbutz Yisrael, digging your dirt at Megiddo. And anytime one of us came across anything, you people jumped down and said, get out of here. We were your slaves. I am one of those. Very proud to have been there. I saw the floor, the Canaanite temple. I saw the floor when they found it. Right? Some dudes, a dude and a dudette were part of slept next to us in the caravan next to us. They were part of the group that actually got to find it. I told you, I worked on that 19th century trench that was covered up. It was a French excavation. I didn't find jack. I just moved dirt. So I want people to know, please understand, there is no reason for me to bring you anything but reality. There's no reason. And it's much more relaxing that way. When you're just honest, it's much more relaxing. I want you to notice that the people who would attack Lady Babylon are the people who lead with lies. They always lead with lies. They have to tell you something. Right? Everything that I'm giving you, congregation, is a weapon. It's a weapon. And it scares them. I wanted to also make a challenge tonight to those out there. I'm facing a couple of bouts, right? And I want to warn you. I just want to warn you, right? There will be no mercy. It is time for a reckoning. It is time for a renaissance. And you are in the way. I will see you at the bout. I am he who tears your soul from your body. Oh, God, I love it, right? Love it. Doesn't people love it, right? Put the fear in them, Mom, and put the fear in them. Can't wait, people. I can't wait. When I am duking it out, I just want you to know, every one of you satanic congregation is my strength. Every one of you. Hold that reality. Hold that science and that devotion to what is true, to what is real. Right. Love it. Oh, God. We love it, don't we? We love it, Chewy. Okay, let's go right away, people. You're going to want to see the devil. Okay, hold on. I'm going to show you the devil. We're going back. And look, people are always talking to me. Oh, God. How many of these situations are you going to get us into? I'm going to get us into as many of these situations until you are comfortable anthropologically in describing what is exactly the mystery. We are profaning the mystery. Do you know what that does? They said it attracts the lightning. It attracts the lightning. And where does that lightning enter? It enters the Ouroboros. It enters the Ouroboros. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, are you ready? You thought I was making it up. Are you ready? Let's go to our first star system. Everybody get off the spaceship. Isn't that funny? When we get there, we get off. We hit the hyperdrive, we're there. Woo! It's a time thing. Don't worry about it. It's physics. Nobody understands physics. Right? Look at this. This is from the Acts of Thomas for those of you who want. And the specifics. And what is this document that nobody ever reads anymore? Remember, this is the dark Bible. You mean before people had a Bible, they had a dark Bible? Yes, they just had all of the collected writings of Christianity. And this is one of them. It was in their Bible. Dudes came along later and said, wait. There's too much here. Take it out. And I am bringing it back to you. This is the section on the doing, the activity, the productivity of the dragon. Of the dragon. Are you ready? And you're going to sit there and think, dragon, flappy wings, right? Breathing fire. No. Remember, a Dracaena, a female dragon, was a woman as early as 1000 BC. Who are the dragons? Oh, are we dead? Did we morph into a globe of doom? Oh, can they hear? Hello. Fantastic. We're going to refresh. Oh, hit it, Chewy. Give me back my track. Okay, let's go. Back to the first star system. Are you ready, people? Look, I'm giving you this stuff for the first time. You're not going to really see this before this. I'm giving you, and by the way, there are a couple of translations online. They both blow really, really bad. Really bad. Right? So, yeah, no. And they're just not good, bro. Open up this one. They remind me of the bad that is the King James bad. You know what I mean? It's like intentional bad. Anyway, purposefully driven bad. Here we have the document. This is about the doing of the dragon. Remember, the dragon is a person. This is a person. Dragons typically guard relics. They are attached to temples or holy sites. The example we always use is Medea's dragon. What did he guard? He guarded that fleece on which was written a song that hung in the tree in the grove of Aries. By the way, everybody go watch Old Boy's new bit on Pulaskians and find yourself some Aries. He's doing fantastic work, and he's doing fantastic work with the Greek students. Fantastic. I love it. Good job, Old Boy. Audboy. Give it to me. What happens here, people? Okay, let me just tell you the story real quick, right? What is this about a dragon? What is this? So, the apostle, right? He was going to that place that the Kurios, the Lord, had designated. Right? Now, remember, these apostles, they're hearing the voice and seeing the image of Jesus, and they can give you the ability to do the same. We're going to watch them do that. We'll see a kid begging for it, but first we're going to a cemetery, and we're going to deal with a boy, a very good-looking boy, according to Thomas, who's a pervert, a very good-looking boy. Are you ready for this? No, you're afraid. Are you ready for what the Christians are doing? Are you ready for it? Come on, people. I told you that first one, Chewy. Here we go. What does this say? It says he was going to where the voice had told him to go. And what happens? He got to the second mile post, right? The Roman mile is a little bit shorter than an English mile. And what happens there? He went a little bit off the road and he saw there a body. It was the body of a neu hermofu, a very beautiful boy, right? And he's just lying there. And what does Thomas say? He says, quick, call 911. No, he doesn't say that. I'm just kidding. What does he say? Oh, Lord, why have you brought me to such a terrible temptation? Wait, what? What? Temptation? Look at the bottom line at the word in the very middle, a perasmon. A perasmon. Do you know what that is? That is a temptation. For Thomas, a naked boy in a cemetery is a temptation. Is a temptation. He says, temptation. Dude looks dead. What is this with this dude? You know what you find in cemeteries in antiquity? I've been to a lot. In the words of the people, I've been to a lot. I've seen these long gone cemeteries. You know what you find in them? You find prostitutes. What you and I call prostitutes. You find dudes who get arrested with naked children, like Jesus. You find dudes coming out of here with stuff dribbling out their bottoms. Saint Cyprian, right? The prostitutes that he's with are chasing him. It was two women. And he's running out and he's dribbling out. You find dudes who are Christing. You find dudes who are Christing. How can you nail those people when they're Christing? Oh, God, just look at what's on their faces. Look for the purple. Are you ready? Do you think this boy has any purple on him? For those of you who've been there, you think this boy has purple? Here we go. Give it to me. Give me the next one. What happens? What happens? He says, look, let whatever reason you brought me here for this temptation, just let your will be done. And he gets down and he starts praying. And he says, oh, Lord, judge of the living and the dead, of the living who stand around us, because he's come with other people. He's got his disciples with him, right? You're the Lord of those living that are standing around, and you're the Lord of the dead who are laying around. He's talking, pointing to the graves where he's standing. Do you understand? This is that Kurios, the Lord of the living and the dead. Are you ready? What's he trying to do, by the way? He's summoning Jesus. He is summoning Jesus. You didn't know. Vampires have the power to summon each other, do you? No, and you didn't know about dreams either. There are powers that you get with being a Christ. There are powers you get with a resurrected form. Remember, what did they call Thomas? The twin Christ. The twin Christ. The twin Christ. He was well trained. When he went to India, he was well trained. How many beautiful young boys, so-called, do you think you're going to find in the Acts of Thomas? I have tried to count them. It is a myriad. It is a myriad. And guess what? Girls too. Are you ready? Now, we just summoned the devil. You don't realize that we did, but we did. How do we do that? We did that with that first passage. Go back to that first passage. What is that bottom word? It's temptation. Who is there, baby? Who is there? Who is there in this temptation that Thomas is dealing with? Give me the second one. So he began to pray, right? And he's the Lord of the living, Lord. He's the great despot. He's praying, oh, God, you're even the Father of those souls that are not in the body, but the souls that have fled. You're the all one, right? Give me the next one. Woo! Now what happens? Boom. Come, Elfe. Come at this hour. Right? The very time in which I am calling you, come. He is getting Jesus Christ in vampire form to show up. Let's see if it works. Give it to me. Give me the next one. Right now, remember, these people have all, I'm going to show you the drugs, but remember, this is a drug cult, right? He's waving his skin around, right, at one point, right? What did the guys see that were there that they didn't see that, right? That dude was wasted. Are you ready? What happens? What happens? Here he comes, devil, right? Right out of his dwelling in this cemetery, right? A dragon. And it's not a regular dragon. It's a Magos dragon. It's a great one. If you've read the Apocalypse, you'll know. A great dragon comes out. And what does he do? Now, I'm going to translate this for you people. And buckle up. Buckle up. Are you ready? Get as mature as you can. I'm going to do this as maturely as I possibly can. Are you ready? Yeah. He's shaking his pride. He's shaking his pride, which is out there. It's like a satyr. He comes out like a satyr. It says he's shaking his pride. And he's hurling that. He's hurling that uran, his tremendous uran, back and forth. It's getting all over the ground. And he's talking in a loud voice. All right, this guy's been somewhere. This guy's been somewhere. Are you ready? You don't believe me. I know you don't. But an uran. What is an uran? You'll say, it's a tail. It's a tail. No, shut up. Shut up, people. Where's our uran? Oh, it's okay. I'll get it on the next one. Take it down. The uran, I'll show you. It's his private parts, right? He's taken his chief beauty and he's waving it around. Why? Because he's been Christed. Don't you understand? We're going to see his boy here. Tell us, devil, how did this beautiful boy get knocked out like this? Dude looks dead. Tell us, devil, what happened? You know what the devil's going to do? He's going to tell us. I spanked the devil, right? Come here, Satan. Come here. I know you're there. Can you see those people? Can you see what they did and how they stood against what's just? Right? You see him? Okay, let's take it out. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it done. Give me the next one. That little tiny one. What happens? No. There we go. Fantastic. No. Next one. This one. What was that one, Chewy? Oh my God. Yep. No, that's it. Now, there we are. Okay. And what does the devil say? Tell us, devil. He says, look, what happened to this kid? There's a woman, right? There's a woman here. She walked right by this place and she was Horiah. Now you ask me, what is a woman who is Horiah? Give it to me. Give me the next one. Are you ready? Oh, and by the way, this says, and when I saw her, I fell for her, right? Wait a minute. The devil fell for someone. Yes. The devil is the romantic one. Jesus is the one who gets arrested and screams, I'm not a trafficker, while he's standing next to a naked kid. Okay? The devil is the one who's always getting shot by that burning power of Eros. And what does he do? He sees her. Okay, look, it's you can feel it. You feel the devil inside you. He's in love. That's what that said. Did you like the Eros passive, right? He's enkindled by that erotic flame. He loves her. Give me that. Next one. And what is she? What is she, devil? She's Horaios. She is produced at the right season. She is seasonable or timely. It's talking about the fruits of the earth. Do you know what she is? She's that fruit. Give me another one. The next one. What kind of, by the way, people, this is from the word hora and the plural horai. And the horai are specifically the seasons in life. Do you understand? Okay. So she is seasonal. She is the one who is fruiting. Right? Okay. That's what's the devil. It's just it's the way it is, people. Give me the next one. Yeah, good. And what is horaya, by the way, as an abstract noun? It's that harvest time. It's that time when you come and you glean, you take that stuff and I don't know. Oh, I'm not a farmer. I worked with cows, man. I worked with cows. Getting them pregnant was what was important. They loved me. Watch this. Harvest time. 20 days, blah, blah, before the dogs start. Okay, harvest. Give me the next one. Of persons, seasonable or ripe. And finally, for those of you who are asking, how old is she? Give me an age. Amen. In reference to age, it is the prime of life or youthful. And he said, right? The bloom of youth. Okay? You can argue numbers all day long, all you want. What these texts are focusing on is that temptation, that pirasmon, that trial, right? And that trial is brought by the devil. Why? Because the devil has a thing for that ripened reality, for that beauty. Do you understand? Do you understand why he was in the garden in the first place? Oh my God. Is it people starting to get unsteady, right? Is it starting? Oh, I smelled something. What was that? I think it was sulfur. Are they doing a cleansing? I'm not sure. Give me the next one. Give me the next one, please. And help us out of this. No, look at the prime of life and the bloom of youth, people. And look at the bottom line and the two Greek words at the end, paidiske, horaios, tate. Right? The most seasonable paidiske. Do you know what a paidiske is? Yeah. It's a minor. A minor. It's also a way to talk about, it's a minor girl, excuse me. And it's also the way to talk about prostitutes. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful prostitute. Do you understand? Most fruiting prostitute. Now, the prostitute side is a label that's given to these people, right? That's why Paul hates the Pythia so much, right? The Paidiskai are the ones who recognized that Peter was one of the boys of Galilee. We all know what they do. Do you understand? There was a crowd in the crucifixion, right? A crowd. What were they saying? Oh, he's such a good boy. No. G. Diddy had learned about the oils. He'd learned what you put in them to put the person into the right state. Do you understand? Does this need more heavy illustration for you? Do you need it? Yeah. Shame on him. Shame on G. Diddy for what he did. Shame on him. You know who I'm talking about? I'm talking about a guy that was arrested in a public park. We got on one hand a dude that's got a weakness for the Eve. And on the other hand, we got a dude who's getting arrested in some kind of clown operation. So many people hate this dude. They get a crowd to kill him, crucify. They're lucky. They would have torn the guy apart. Otherwise, he's lucky he got the benefit of being able to go to the cross, right? And he's very lucky. His drugs that he had on board started working, so he could give the appearance of being dead. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Joke's on you. It's on us. Give me the next one. People, watch this. He says, look. What does the devil do? He sees her there. All right, we're back with the devil. He sees her there, and he says, he becomes her. He's going to become akoulouthesas, right? He's going to follow her. It really means to follow, but it means in a devoted way. And it's the same word that you use for slaves and for soldiers. Slaves and soldiers, right? It's like you receive orders from this person. It's the same word that was used of Jesus Christ's boy that ends up naked with him. Do you understand? It's the same word. It means I'm going to follow you. Right? You're going to be my Lord. Right? This is what the devil does to her. She walks past him. He follows her. Give it to me. Give it to me. Are you ready? What is the last word in that first line? I mean, no, that's good. That's good. Keep going. What is the last word before the Greek colon? That the bottom's been whacked off, right? Like somebody took a club and hit it. Epeterun. What does that mean? It means to follow, to scrutinize, to stalk. Yeah. What did he do? He stalked her. And what did he do? He found her there with a boy, the same boy that's laying there in front of him. And what were they doing? They were katafilunta. They were exchanging kisses vehemently. And what did it turn into? Ekoinonesin. You remember when we looked up koinonia, that the Christians sit around very innocently and stupidly saying, let's all go have koinonia. You know what that means? It means intercourse. And what are they doing? That boy and his vision, the devil's vision, he's defiling her. He's defiling her. Is there any conclusion that you and I could come to besides kid must go? He must go. That's it. Right? You, me, and the devil. Right? The kid's gotta go. Devil is protective. Devil is protective of Eve. Do you understand? We worship the great virgin because of our honor of protecting her. Do you understand? Even the people in prison get it. Right? G. Diddy. He's going to have to look over his shoulder when he's going through the prison process because there's a code. There's a code. Did you say G. Diddy? Yeah, I'm talking antiquity, right? For people, I'm crossing intentionally P. Diddy and Jesus. G. Diddy. G. Diddy has to go through the process of looking over his shoulder. That's why he's screaming in the very beginning, I'm not a trafficker. Right? Right? Okay, G and P, scream out, you're not traffickers, because there is a code of justice that is underneath any sort of religious rules that Judaism, Christianity, Islam, any of the monist religions, this is way before any of that. It's a code of justice. It's a code of protecting the innocent, and it is built and wired into the ancient Greek tongue. Oh God, it's gorgeous. I love it. Okay, give me the next one. Give me the next one. What happens? Watch this, people. Watch this. Oh God, he's the twin. I just want you to know I didn't make this up. The devil knows who Thomas is. He's a twin. He's a twin Christ. Do you understand? I'm going to reveal something to you for the first time. There is a connection, a duality that is created in the mystery. It's okay because I'm going to drug you. Do you understand? I'm going to drug you in the process. Okay? Ancient Christian duality. That duality is a necessity. If you are not seeing and hearing Jesus Christ, You have not entered into the mystery, and you are not born again. Do you understand? Okay. Fantastic. Hit me with that. Yeah, what's the next one? Maybe the next one. Here we go. So what happened, devil? You know what had to happen to that kid? Tupsas et thanatos auton. What'd you do, devil? I struck him and killed him. I didn't do it, says the devil, or when I was around her. I waited for him to finish, and I followed him, and I killed him. I put him into death. Death meet kid death. And there he is. You like that? Okay. All right, devil. Give me the next one. Tell me a little more. While we've got the devil, tell me a little more. Give me the next one. Boom. Boom. Devil. What's in your mouth? Do you know what's in the mouth of the devil? His tool of doom. It's in his mouth. Now, there are two types of people in the audience. Those who understood that to mean that the devil's tongue is the weapon, and that weapon will cut you to shreds. Number one. Number two, there are those of you who heard and saw the devil with his tail in his mouth. And who is that? Show me the devil with his tail in his mouth. Where is it? No, Chewy, didn't you depict it? You're supposed to depict the devil with his tail in his mouth. Right there. You gotta work. Fantastic. Where is this mark? It's on the breast of the one undergoing the mystery. It is the serpent who swallows himself. Okay? Now, for those of you who heard that side of it, that will open up a whole different avenue. Enjoy. Fantastic. For those of you who didn't, I don't care. Give me the next one. Right? Congregation hears it. They knew who I am. My sheepies. Okay, I'm sorry I said that. Oh, I deserve a spanking now. Everybody, imagine the spanking. Amen. Do not talk like Jesus Christ. Especially when he's talking about his little children and touching his sheepies. Perverts. I deserve that. Give me the next one. What is that? Ura. Just for those of you who think I'm making this up, look at the bottom. Number 2. It equals idoion. Idoion. You know what those are? The genitalia. The genitalia. There's no mistaking it, people. How did the devil get a third of the host to rebel with him? Right now, you remember that. You remember that. At least a third of the angels. A third of the angels came with him. And the Bible will tell you he did it, right? With his ura. He did it with what? Yeah, I'm about to show you. I always say the devil did it with his phallus, with his private parts. That's how he brought those angels down. And everybody's always like, no, you can't pick the meaning that is down there on the ground. I'm a theologian. You can't pick that third meaning. One of these liars, I'll just have you know, one of these liars who says the ha 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 about Greek, ha ha ha, actually confided in somebody I knew who told me his Greek is not good and he doesn't use it. He actually doesn't read. That's something I told you from the very beginning. I told you that. Please, people, please, it's just science, right? It's just science. There are frauds in your midst. Frauds. Complete and total frauds. Give me the next one. Give me. Oh, I love the Greek. I love the Greek. What does this Greek say? Oh, his tail was in his mouth and he says, I am the one who came through the barrier into paradise. and was there with Eve. And I told her everything my Father gave me to tell her. Wait, what? He's the one who penetrated that barrier of paradise. This serpent. Okay? Let those who have ears to hear. I know that you want to be sealed. I understand that. I totally understand that. Give me the next one. What's the, oh God. Tell me, devil, says Thomas at this point, right? So the devil's there. He told him what he did with the kid, right? The kid's dead. And how does Thomas respond to this great temptation that's laying on the ground? What does he say to him? He says, tell me, devil, where are you from, man? What kind of seed did you come from? Literally, that's what he said. What kind of seed did you come from? Where's your origin, dude? And he says to him, what's the devil say to him? I am the herpustes herpustu. Now, some grammarian out there will say, oh, look, this looks foreign. Not a good one, not a classicist, because this is straight up, there's no problem with this in the Greek. But they'll say, look, this should be written in a different language. Right? Well, it turns out that this one, people have done that for Syriac. They said, oh, this thing's got to be in Syriac first. Bull. Bull. You people are hilarious. You're so hilarious and dumb. You're dumb. Oh, God, it's just beautiful. It's like a great lie. You know what I mean? It can only go for so long, and anywhere. You can just take a tiny, tiny pin to one gigantic lie, and pop it. The whole thing goes up. The greatest lie you were ever told is that Bible was written in Hebrew. That was the greatest lie you were ever told. And you had to read the Hebrew from that point out. That English is coming through that Hebrew. That Spanish is coming through that Hebrew. Ugh! Shame on you. You missed it. Why? It was intentional. Don't worry. Don't worry. It was intentional. Right? That's how you grab legitimacy in the second and first centuries BC. That's how you grab legitimacy. Give it to me. Give it to, still propaganda, right, people? This is how you deal with sources, right? Whoa, oh my God, he's so rough with his sources. Yeah, it turns you on, doesn't it? Give it to me. And when I say that, I mean mentally, you perverts, right? What does he say here? Oh God, I am the one who penetrated that boundary, came to her and talked to her. Next. And who else is the devil? Who else is the devil? He says, I am the one who burned Cain's soul, who set him on fire so he would kill his brother. I'm the one who planted those thorn bushes in the garden, those triboloi. You know what triboloi are? They can be a thorny plant, or they can be a caltrip, right? A little thing that looks like it's a pointed blades, a little ball of blades, and you throw it out onto a field, and when the horses come, it really wrecks their feet, right? He's the one who's responsible for that stuff being in the garden. Do you know why they're sitting around that bush that's burning, talking to God? Because the devil showed them. Yeah, these are older traditions by far than any of your mysteries. Right? This is the origin, the satanic origin of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. If you are a modern practicing Jew, Christian, or Muslim, you are honoring the ways of the devil. Straight up. Congratulations. Congratulations. You are all servants of Satan. Every one of you. And this is his kingdom. Oh, God, that's gorgeous. Isn't that gorgeous what the texts actually say? Remember, this is the Black Bible, right? This was banned. And now I think you'll understand why it was banned. Give me the next banned bit. Oh, look at this, people. He taught Cain. Go to the next one. He taught Cain, right? Taught Cain to kill him. And what did he do? He says, look, I'm the one who pulled down those angels from above. I brought them here. And why did I bring them here? I brought them here through the power of their desire for the ladies. I bound them to that desire. And why did I do that? Because I wanted some kitties. I wanted some kitties to do my will. Oh, is that awesome or what? Now, you thought the devil brought down those angels by his tail, his ura, right? Very explicitly here. No, it has to do with a person's desire, a person's epithumia. And if you are a Christian and you're sitting there and you're thinking, how can I prove this terrible person wrong? Or if you're a scholar, maybe you came out of Christianity and you're sitting there, how does this factor in to everything that I was exposed to? The devil's principal weapon is, you know what, right? It's a killer. It's a killer. And that power belongs to Eve. And this scares everybody who's a monist, because this power is the power of that woman. Eve was the object of worship, not Adam. She was the one making him invincible. And people came along and turned the right around. They made Hercules. They made Jesus. They made Moses the center, right? By the way, Moses is a knockoff, right? They just, in the 3rd century, they just said, who's that stoned prophet? Oh, his name is Musaeus. Oh, well, we'll call him Moses, right? That's it. Knockoff. It's even a knockoff. Your religions are knockoffs. Do you understand that? Jesus Christ is just a knockoff of a Bronze Age mystery. The Bronze Age. That's why you can't tell the truth, Christianity. That's why you have shows. You have shows about Amen to say things that are totally wrong. They're lies. They're slander. That's what you have to use as a weapon. We don't have to do that at Satanic Congregation. We use the text. We look at the reality, and we actually use our Greek. Fantastic. Look, what is that comment? That thing's long. Ever since I was a child. Hey, thanks, Funky Cole. I didn't understand religion. It didn't make sense to me. I questioned everything. I didn't enjoy church because I knew they were trying to. Wait, what? Oh, you left us on a little bit of a cliffhanger. They were lying to me. They were lying. Sorry about that, Funky. They were lying to you. Yes, that fairy tale Christianity of faith was never in existence. That was a tool of the church to control you. Right? It was a tool to control you. You're supposed to be working with venomous snakes, bro. Right? You're supposed to be working with venomous snakes. Yeah, right. And then the women became wise, thanks to the serpent. Oh, by the way, thank you, Heather, for pointing out that this is lady tech. This is all lady tech. They're developing these drugs and their uses within the mystery for priesthoods of women. Yeah. They're connected with the drugs that are used in women's health, obstetrics and gynecology, and mental health. You mean there's a field called women's mental health? In antiquity, that's the source of this mystery. Isn't that gorgeous? Took women to figure out, right? What were all the men doing? What were all the men doing during this time? Right? This is hundreds of years before Hippocrates comes along, right? Hundreds of years before Galen. The women are creating medicine that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And part of their societies are all women, and they go out and hunt men. What happened to the women who hunted men? This is what I'm looking for. I want to find an island where these people have existed, right, in isolation. They will probably shoot me. Poison arrows, right? But for those few minutes, give me the next one, right? Hail Medea. What happened to Medea? Where's Medea today? Where is Medea? I pulled down those angels, said the devil, and I did it through the power of desire for the ladies. And they made kids. And those little kids there were the ones that did my will, because this is my kingdom. Isn't that gorgeous? You got to love the devil, man. He's straight up. He's straight up. No lying. And he's going to correct Thomas, because Thomas tells them basically, get behind me, Satan. He doesn't say that, but it's basically that approach. And give me the next one. What does he say? He says, guess what? I tied those angels. That was the next one. That's just him saying, I bound those angels, right, by their desire, right? What does the devil say? He says, look, idiot, I'm the one who abides in the abyss of Tartarus. Don't you love that? I am the one who abides in the abyss of Tartarus. And what is Tartarus? What does that imply in antiquity? That's the place where the devil brings justice. That's the prison. And the devil is the one who executes its justice. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Where'd you think all these people were going? Where'd you think all these people were going? You think the monists invented justice? They're always claiming they did. You think they're the ones that invented morality? Your morality's out of the sewer. And those of you who are going to come against me, who dare to come against me, I'm going to expose your sewage. I'm going to expose your sewage for what it is. Monists. Shame on you. More than shame. Give me the next. Give me the next. Boom. Here it is. Thomas says, okay, devil, here's what I want you to do. I want you to remove the eos that you put in that kid. I want you to take it out. All right? I want you to suck it out. To suck it. Wait, what? We're gonna suck out the poison from the kid, right? Remember, where are we? We're in that cemetery where Jesus always ends up with the naked kids, right? We're in that cemetery. We're in that setting. And what does he got to do? He's got to suck out this kid's poison. He's got to suck out this kid's poison. Maybe he should have a rap somewhere. Maybe that kid should have a scene down. Oh, interesting. Give me the next one. And what does he say? The devil stands up right at that point and he corrects the dude. He corrects Thomas and he says, listen, jerkwad. That's not there. I put that there, right? Listen, jerkwad, right? My time of the completion of the mystery is not yet. And what happens? Just like contrary to what you said, jerkwater, right? It's not my time. And what happens? Thomas respects it. He doesn't deny it, right? He knows where the battle is, and he knows the power of the devil. Okay, so what do you do with that serpent? Give it to me. You give him a Judas. You give him a Judas, right? You give him a Judas. Do you remember how Judas died? Everybody from the text, do you remember? It says he became edemic, right? Got all swollen, burst himself, and all of his goodies ran out of his backside. Do you remember what happens when you overdose on that Satyricon, on that Cantharides, the beetle, the blister beetle? Do you remember what happens? Yeah. You rupture. You swell and rupture. And it all comes dribbling out your backside. This is an exact description. What you're about to see happen to the devil is an exact description of what happened to Judas. Now, I know you're used to believing in miracles. You're used to believing in and angels, right? Coming down, and you didn't realize that these angels were visions that these stoned prophets are intentionally inducing so they can form a duality with Jesus, so they can be his bride. Thomas had been through it as a kid with Jesus. This is way later when he's old, dude. Dude, what's happening? What's that, Jerry? Did you bring Meat Man? Remember, this is the guy who's going to become Meat Man, right? He's going to walk around without his skin, right? Have you ever seen Meat Man? If you were sealed, this guy steps out, and Stephen King is all of a sudden, he's sitting in the audience writing this down. Stephen King, you get this down, Stephen. This is him. This is Meat Man Thomas, and he's coming to your neighborhood, right? I was blessed to be able to enter into the communion with Meat Man. Can you believe people would say stuff like that? Right? This is crazy. You have to have that drug experience to even understand what he's talking about. You see, the drug experience produces technical jargon, and that technical jargon is in the language, and it's evidence for us. It comes down to us. Did you know ancient drugs like cannabis had names, street names? Most people didn't know. What's the street name for cannabis? Do you know? It's Star. Right? They also call it Spider for some reason. I never got that one, but Star I get. I could totally get that one. Give me the next one, because it's the 5-pointed star. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the drug of the throne of Lucifer, right? It is the throne. Fantastic. It's that Scythian stuff. Kai pros elthon ho drakon. So what does the devil do? The dragon comes, this guardian, this necromancer who is in this cemetery with this kid that he's just killed. He bends down, and at the place that he struck him, he puts his mouth on it. Notice on the second line, the word neanisku, right? He takes that kid, and what does he do? He sucks out the cholen, the venom. And what happens? The kid whose flesh, I'm translating, whose flesh is purple, it lightens as he's sucking out the poison. Why does he have purple? Why does he have purple on, people? Did you see the purple in the text? I'm not making this up. Did you see the purple in the text? I am not making this up. Everybody says, all these Christians, all these theologians are out there saying, what is this about the purple? Do you know how many theologians we've run over during the course of Lady Babylon? It's a lot. It's a lot. Don't worry, they're just bumps in the road. It's okay. They flatten pretty good, right? There's not much to them. There's not much substance. And the funny thing is, the Christians all have the same approach. They're just, cut out of a machine, cut out of a great giant machine. It makes it, so that you can deliver the Antichrist. Because people, what are we delivering here? We're just bringing people the Antichrist. That's all. We're bringing people the Antichrist. It's that which treats, which balances the Christ. You know what's going to balance your love for Jesus? The reality that he was G-diddling. He was G-diddling. You want to follow? You know what you are? Let me talk to the evangelicals, the Baptists, the charismatics. Let me talk to them all right now. And the Catholics. Bring in the Catholics. Who else? Who else is out? Some Anglicans? Can we bring some Anglicans? How about some people way up in the woods who were just, kind of old-timey Christians? Let's bring them all into the same room so that we can tell them all at the same time. You are the disciples of P. Diddy. You're the disciples. Imagine that. You're the people who will say in the future, oh, P. Diddy was wronged. P. Diddy was wronged. He bore it. He bore it all for our sake. Right? No, he got sent to prison for doing the same stuff that a crowd of people assembled around Jesus and said, kill him. Kill him. Right? People say, why is this guy so interested in Christianity? You need to see the reality. We are living among the disciples of a dude who was arrested in a public park with a naked kid screaming, "I'm not a trafficker." Yeah. That's the reality. And that's what people can't stand. That's what people can't stand, is for us to bring it. We've only got a couple more. Give me the next one. Look, I just wanted you to see the purple. People, look at that first word, porfura. Okay, porfura. Okay, right? Like that stuff on Jesus's face. Where's his face? What parts of that kid were covered with the purple? It was his genitals. It was his genitals. It's in Mark. Says epigumnu, on his privates, his naughty bits, on his naughty bits. Otherwise, he was gumnos. Fantastic. Give it to me. Give it to me. And finally, what is the dragon? Let's see what happened. So the dragon goes over. He sucks this kid's wound. And what happens? And by the way, remember, the dragon had come out with the dragon had come out spreading his glory all over the place. Okay? Remember, medicine, drugs are being transferred. How are they being transferred? On that glory. So when he talks about the wound in the kid, do you know what the devil did to that kid before he poisoned him to death? Yeah. He painted himself with a drug that would kill that kid. And he inserted it into his backside, which is what they do medically. That's what they do medically, people. That's how you get the drugs. P. Diddy, everybody's asking, what about the oils? We know that he was drugging people orally. He was giving them drinks that were laced. What about the oils? What was the product in the oil that was causing the amnesia? What is the product in how do you get that product in an oil? You insert it into the person's body. It has its aphrodisiac effect on you and the victim. Right? This is not sheer necromancy, right? It is purposeful. That victim is supposed to forget. They're not supposed to be born again. They're supposed to forget. Do you understand? The Christians took the mystery and inverted it for their own pleasure's sake, right? Because everybody knows you're not getting to heaven unless you're one of these boys. That's what Jesus said. Honestly, look, I'm taking a vow. Give it to me. Next one. This is going to be almost our last. Oh yeah, right. And what happens? So this is a scene with the dragon dying. And what happens, people? The same thing that happens to Judas, right? What happens? This stuff ultimately, he ruptures and the stuff comes flowing out of him. Both the eos, it says, and the chole. I want you to look at the third from the bottom line, and I want you to notice the presence of the drug. This is that essential ingredient that makes up the power of the purple. Okay. This is what gives it its kick, the eos. Okay. You cannot swallow this stuff. You cannot swallow it. Yeah. Has to be absorbed. Why? I don't know, because they knew the chemistry of how proteins work. Give me the next. Here we go. Look at this. Here we go. Oh, God. So what does the kid do? Because the kid gets up. It says the kid all of a sudden gets up. And he's like, "Whoa, God." And he stumbles over to Thomas and falls at his feet. And he says to him, "Have I done you anything? Have I harmed you?" He's crying. "Have I caused you any offense?" He says, "You're a man of two shapes." What? Give me the next one. You're a man of two shapes. This kid just came out of it, right? He was entered into this death state by that dragon. And now he's coming out of it, right? And what does he say? You have multiple shapes. Wait, what? Is this kid on something? Give me the same. No. Oh, yeah, here we go. He says, you go wherever you want. Wherever you want, you're there, and you are discovered there. Right? Wherever you're going to end up going, it's because you will it. You project yourself there. This is odd. People always, they talk about very little about Jesus in his vampire form, in his post-resurrection form. This form that can be summoned, Remember, he's like, yeah, very creepily, wherever you are, 2 or more, I'll be with you. Right? Remember, this is the same cult that is teaching you stop having sex with your husband. Stop. Come to a meeting and we will drive the sex demon out of you. Why? Because that's what the devil uses. So these victims would come to meetings with apostles who were themselves the victims of Jesus, and they would cast out their sex demon. And it took 7 tries for Jesus with Mary Magdalene, right? She had a lot of sex demon, right? Now, once you've cast out that demon, and how do you do that? You bring that demon right to that person, right? And you force that demon to leave. You give that person an inability to cope with that practice. You so taint them, you clockwork orange them to sexual activity. And people get upset about it. And this is why the early Christians are thrown out of every place they go to, because people discover what they're doing and they end up in prison. Why are all the early Christians killed? Why? Have you ever thought about that? Right? You just don't get, it's because of their faith. No, nobody gave a shit about their faith. Right? No, it's because of what they were doing. It's because of what Jesus was doing that he got crucified. You thought he was the good guy and everybody else is just evil. And they're just going to heap their sins on him because you're an idiot, an idiotes sitting there by yourself. Do you understand? He got there on purpose, dude. They crucified him for a reason and he friggin' deserved it. Fantastic. Now, for those of you who would say, oh, look, Almond has been injured by the church. No, I haven't. No. And there are lots of people who converted, who believed, who took up the faith because of the teachings that I helped to elucidate. Definitely. Right? Just the opposite. Oh, God. Right? Fantastic. And that's what scares them so much. Give me that last one, Chewy. I think I've got one more. Yeah, I just wanted to show this. Look, man, I need you, dude. This is what he says this is what the little kid who's been revived says to Thomas, who, by the way, noted that he was good looking and tempting. And he says, hey, dude, make me to see him again. Right? The one who was hidden from me. Make me to see him again in order that I may hear his voice. And dude, when this dude shows up, his appearing, I'm unable to describe it. And you know what it is? Look at this. I'm translating the last sentence for you. Uk estin gartes fuseos tu organu tu somatiku. What does that mean? This process is not brought about by a somatic instrument. This process is not brought about in any way, he says. This is not natural. It is supernatural. Right? For you to see Jesus Christ and to be able to speak with him, you must be sealed. And the kid begs him. He begs him to be sealed. Do you see what's happened? You have wandered into a cemetery from 1800 years ago, 1900 years ago. You've wandered into that cemetery. And what do you find there? You find this poor kid, and you find these magi. What are the dudes calling Thomas? Pharmake and mage. Drug user and sorcerer. This dude can show you things. He can make you hear things. He can make you speak. Seal me, right? Shame on you. Shame on you, Reverend Cush. Although I love your name, you cry out, seal me. God. Don't worry. P. Diddy and G. Diddy always end up in the same place. You remember how Jesus is scared, his whole ministry? He's walking around saying, I'm going to get scandalized. They're going to come after me, right? They're going to crucify me. I'm going to get crucified. He knows the whole time. He's always looking over his shoulder, because this activity that the mysteries perform runs afoul of society. If you can't get your act together and show some decency with your own children and those young kids, you got to go to jail. It's just the way it is. We are not putting up with your monist BS. The original persecution of the Christians wasn't a persecution. It was justice. It was justice. Those victims become the perpetrators. And the perpetrators are the ones that end up singing, "He touched me." Your prison is staring you in the face. Thank you for coming tonight. Hail Satan.
Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline. Make it rainbow dream. Hail Satan, blaze with St. Vincent Pricino. Magic wand whip the volcano. House of Frankenstein. The wizard walks by. Make it rain, burning purple. And cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, feel the burn. Reek like indica, fuck what you heard. I'm shining bright like Jackie Nicholson. My girl is Shelley Duvall. Snow blind on the peak. BB at the players ball. Sugar pop, sugar pop, sugar pop, dope. Sugar pop, do your makeup mold. Coca-Cola face, Magneto laser ray. Mark 'em all with a Z on your heads like Zorro. Hillside, Lone Ranger, tree line, Gonzo. Make it rain, burning purple. Cast a spell on you in a circle. Hot fire, gasoline.